The most important aspect of any sales process is honesty. He is unlikely to go back to the same shop again or definitely to the same salesperson again. Why? Because he has a feeling I have been cheated. I was told something which is not correct. Any sales process is built on a foundation of trust. The moment that trust is lost, you might have made that one sale, no subsequent sales will happen. And same in the interview. You have to be completely honest, completely truthful in the interview. My definition of honesty is slightly different from the conventional definition, but I will come to that. But all I'm saying is, you have to be completely honest, completely truthful in the interview. Do not bluff, do not lie, tell them honestly whatever you are. Why? Because if they find out that you are, whatever you are saying, you are not truthful, even in one place, I will assume that other places also possibly you are not truthful with me. I have been able to identify that you are incorrect in one place. How can I be sure that you are not lying to me in the other places? And the standard rule which is adopted by HR professionals as well as MBA Institute panel, when in doubt, reject. Period. It's a supply mismatch which ensures it. Lower end MBA Institute will not worry. तुम कुछ भी बोलो उनको तो admission देना ही देना है. If you go to, let's say, out of the top 100, you go to the bottom 3,000 or bottom 4,400 institutes. But the top management institute, they will not take it lightly that you have not been honest with them, you have not been truthful with them. So from your point of view, the right approach from the salesperson should have been, yes, there is a problem in this phone, but I have another Samsung model which will take care of it, but it will cost you only 3,000 rupees more. That would have been a better approach. That would have also given him the feeling, yes, I have not been cheated, I have not been lied to. And next time he wants another phone, he will probably go back to the same person. That does not mean you will get away with one-off thing in the interview. Unlikely. The reason is that it usually a 2 to 3 member panel. So if one person misses, some others picks it up. And frankly, it is not worth taking that effort to fail or to bluff your way through. Be honest, be truthful. I don't want you to be honest and truthful in the interview because it is a good thing to be, because Mahatma Gandhi said, "Bula mat socho, bula kuch nahi." But basic, simple logic is, speaking the truth in the interview increases your chance of selection. Be honest, be truthful, you will find it easier to handle. So, don't hesitate. If the interviewer asks you, okay, so what are your deficiencies? What is it that you are not good at? Tell them what is it that you are not good at. But don't stop at only what I am not good at. Take them, okay, I am not good in this area, but I am good in this area. Take them, shift the focus from the negative to the positive always. It is your task to shift the focus from the negatives to the positives. Secondly, yeah? You are doomed anyway, isn't it? So the question is, if the panel asks you, if I tell the panel I'm interested in sales and marketing, and the panel will tell me, okay, in sales you are supposed to lie. You have to lie a lot to your customers. Are you willing to lie? What should you say? First of all, who said that you have to agree with this basic construct that you have to lie to make sales? That's your assumption, or that's their assumption. They are not lying. They are not telling the complete truth. There is a small difference, and which is what I am talking about here also. I am not asking you to lie, but I am also not asking to share your negatives with the panel. So on your own, you will not tell them I am pathetic in academics, I don't do anything in academics. In the 12 years I studied in school and college, I did not do anything. But you say that 12 years I studied in school while I was great in football. I was the captain of the school team. So I am saying you will tell them what is good about you, you will not tell them what is not good about you until and unless it is specifically asked. So my definition of honesty is I will not deny my negatives, but I will not share it on my own also. Whatever are my negatives, I will share if you ask me. If you don't ask me, I am not under any obligation to share. So in this case, the problem was he asked the salesperson, okay, what about this RAM bit? And he lied. Had he not asked him, he also would not have been worried about it. I feel so much worried here, because झूठ बोल के बेवकूफ बना दिया. That's not a good feeling for anyone. And which is why, please remember, your task in the interview is to be honest, truthful, not lie at all, not deny your negative. If you ask specifically about it, you will say, yes, I have this negative. But you will not give that information on your own upfront. Coming back specifically to your question, I think my discussion in that question would be, starting from saying, no, I don't think I have to lie to make a sale. At least that is what my belief is. If your belief is not the same, then you have to handle it in your way. So please remember, this cannot be compromised upon. You have to be completely honest. You have to be truthful in the interview. And I am sure this is going to create lots of problems for many of you. Okay, so accept your shortcomings, don't advertise them. Don't advertise them. And which is what most of the advertisements do. They will talk only about the positive features, they will not advertise the negatives of the product. Okay. Now there are two types of questions which are possible. One is called a close-ended question, another is called an open-ended question. What's the difference between the two? What's the close-ended or what's the open-ended question? There is no specific yes or no in the open-ended. What do you say? Close-ended has specific answers. Can you give me an example of a close-ended question, let's say? What is the capital of Delhi, of India? Any question which has? Okay. Okay. A question which has got option. Okay. A question which is not debatable. Give me an example of question which is not debatable.
For example, the capital of Maharashtra is Mumbai.
So that is debatable.
What is
Even that is debatable because Amitabh Bachchan and Shashi Kapoor movie told us it is 5. Okay. Capital of Maharashtra? No, it should be Pune because Mumbai is in one corner and it is not well connected to the rest of the thing. So maybe we should go to Aurangabad. So we can have a debate on whether Maharashtra should or Bombay should be the capital of the city or not. Nagpur is too much to the east. It's the winter capital. So maybe why don't we have a year-long capital right in the middle of the two? Okay. So debatable कुछ भी है हिंदुस्तानियों की अच्छी चीज है we can debate on anything under the sun. ठीक है? We are fond of debating, discussing. I am sure those of you are interested in cricket would be wondering कि धोनी ने ठीक decision लिया कि नहीं. हालत खराब है ना? क्या स्कोर था लास्ट? 135 for 5. Okay. He won the toss or he lost the toss? He lost the toss. So at least that is a little less debatable. Maybe he should have spun the point faster or something. Okay. But at the end of the day, debatable is not an issue. Because you can have a debate on anything under the sun if you want to. Yes. What is more important is what some of you said. A close-ended question is the one which has got limited choices available and your answer has to be one of those choices only. Nothing else can be the answer. So the written test which you went through, every question has only one answer correct and that correct answer had to be from those 4 choices. So if you say no, and the correct answer is actually the 5th choice which is not there, that cannot be possible. So whenever a question has limits, boundaries, restrictions around it, so that you are not able to exercise your choice or your free will, it is called a close-ended question. Conversely, an open-ended question is someone with something which does not have any boundaries or limitations. So let's take an example. Would you like to have tea? Close-ended, open-ended question. Close-ended, why?
Yes or no.
What if I answer it by saying, no, I would like to have coffee? I have gone beyond the boundary limits or the restrictions which you had imposed. I did not impose those restrictions. You assumed only tea is available. And you said yes or no. I am saying the moment I am willing to give my choice, give my preference, I have gone beyond the limits of a close-ended question, converting to an open-ended question. So the difference between a close-ended and open-ended question is a question which allows you to express your choice. And hence, any question can be converted from a closed-ended to an open-ended question. The limitation obviously is your creativity, your ingenuity. Why is this important for you to understand the difference? Because interviews typically consist of questions. The questions can be close-ended or they can be open-ended questions. What about RAM of this product, or how good is the RAM, is a close-ended question. You have to convert it to an open-ended question by saying the RAM is okay or not good, but it can be taken care of by putting a memory card and then take it to the posture of the product. So whenever you have a close-ended question which is focusing on your negatives of the weak areas, it is your task to maybe accept the negatives of the product, that particular negative, but quickly shift the focus into the positive by converting that question into an open-ended question. So please remember, your task is not to just answer the question as it has been given to you. Your task is also to answer the question as it is given to you and also divert it into your area of interest. So what do you want to do in life? If not politics, what is it that you would like to be doing? I'm sorry? Go for operations and MBA. So why don't you go into politics? Politics does not interest me. I'm more interested in operations. I have done my engineering in this area and this is the subject which I enjoy the most. We are shifting the focus from politics to operations. So it is your task to make sure whenever you get a close-ended question which is difficult from your point of view or which is not from your area of interest, you need to shift the focus, convert the question to an open-ended question and shift it to your area of interest. What about a close-ended question from your area of interest? I'll show you this. Answer chalo, aage chalo. Isn't it? So close-ended question from your area of interest is good, to your advantage. An open-ended question, it is your task whenever you get an open-ended question which is open to interpretation in which you can exercise your choice to make sure that the answer you give is such that they are forced to go into your area of interest. So remember this part, there is nothing called an open-ended, close-ended question. Every question can be converted into an open-ended question and you can express your choice. Whenever you get a close-ended question to your weak area, convert it to an open-ended question and shift the focus to your posture so that the interview will go into your area of interest. You get a close-ended question to your strong area, obviously, this is what you are looking for. What about the answers you give? Should your answers be open-ended or close-ended? Open-ended? Why? Close-ended? Your answer should be open-ended. No, they should be close-ended. If you give an open-ended answer, then the interviewer is free to interpret it the way he or she wants. The decision-making power has been shifted there. So please make sure your answers are close-ended to the extent that they are forced to ask you questions from your area of interest. But your questions, and hence, whenever you get a close-ended answer question, your area of interest, great. Open-ended question, convert into a close-ended answer into your area of interest. And all your answers to the extent possible should be close-ended answers so that they are not able to move out of your area of interest. Because as long as the interview focuses on your strength, as long as the interview is in your area of interest, you will be able to handle the questions comfortably. Yeah? I'm sorry, the panelist said? Right.
They are like, no, we don't want to know what they are, we want the names of the staff.
Absolutely right. So they are trying to put you under pressure. So all you need to do is that I don't know the names. While I know the meanings, I don't know. I can explain them. I'm sorry, I don't know the names. Can't do anything about it. Okay. What is it that you know? What apart from the answer to that question? Yeah, you said you don't know the names or the proper names, but you can explain that. But could you have directed them into another area where you know everything?
So what was happening now? Actually, I think they were trying to put me under pressure. When I was answering, they were not letting me speak. And they were focusing on the questions which I couldn't answer. When I was answering, they were cutting me off and they were moving on to the next question.
It's a typical stress or a pressure interview. That's fine. So the important thing is you recognize that it's a pressure interview or stress interview. Make sure you don't get into an argument. Make sure you keep answering the question. In fact, try to play a divide and rule between them. So he's asked me question, is it okay if I answer him first before answering your question? क्या होगा? बहुत बोलेगा no, please answer my question first. Okay sir, I'll answer your first. देखो महात्मा गांधी की फिलॉसफी जो थी ना यहाँ काम आ जाती है. It is very difficult to shout at a person who is not shouting back. It is very difficult to argue with a person who is speaking logically in measured tone. That is what the approach you should adopt there in a stress or a pressure interview, and that is what worked for me in that I am Lucknow interview. Yeah. So they are virtually shouting, as you said, एक का खत्म नहीं होता दूसरे का सवाल आ जाता, एक को आंसर कर देता बीच में कट कर देता हूँ आंसर भी फर्स्ट कहते तो देखो मेरा क्या जाता है. हाँ सिंपैथेटिकली तुमको नीचे गिरा रहा है, isn't it? Volume. Okay, how many of you are good in academics? Hardly anyone. So suppose you should be saying, suppose the candidate is good in academics. Then what is the other way around? Yeah. But same thing.
2 years
Okay, how much of engineering is relevant to MBA?
Academics like he scored 90% marks in high school or
Actually,
85% marks and 12th and graduation.
Right.
Suppose if a person has scored 55% marks in high school
Right.
and 60% marks in April,
Right.
12% marks in graduation, he will be able to convince that he will be able to do good from when.
Yeah, how do you convince that despite having 4 marks in 10, 12 graduation, you will still be able to do well in the 2 years of MBA? कैसे convince करोगे? Sorry? I'm sorry, Okay. अगला? Yeah, I've taken CAT and scored so many marks, so obviously थोड़ा सा तो मेहनत मैं भी कर लेता हूँ. Why? If you don't think this exam was relevant, why did you conduct it? You are taking me or you are calling out of 200,000 people, you have chosen 1,000 students only on the basis of this exam, and you are telling me this was not relevant. That means the other 1,99,000 students should be called. All of us should go out. You can. क्यों नहीं बोल सकते? क्यों नहीं बोल सकते? मैं बताता हूँ क्यों नहीं बोल सकते. It's the feeling which most of us have that we can't say things like this. Yes, I would want you to be a little more polite, not as rude as I was, but you can still say it in the interview because it is a discussion which is happening. Most of us go in the interview with a superior inferior mindset. कॉलेज वाइवा होता है ना, हम इसको कॉलेज का वाइवा बना लेते हैं कि उसको सवाल पूछने हम करेंगे. This is not a okay. The right approach to the interview situation is these are not your college docs who are checking you out on your knowledge of a subject, and they will also check out क्या नहीं आता है. First of all, they are there to focus on your strengths and posture. Second, they are also checking out your ability to think logically. Is that not a logical answer? If it is a logically correct answer, which means that when it is logically correct, I mean it has got reasoning behind it, they will listen to it. It is very easy to refute an illogical argument. It is very difficult to refute logical argument because there are reasons you have to refute each reason separately. Secondly, who are the people who have come to interview you? From your point of view, most of the people who have come to interview are the ones who are signing a death warrant or a lifetime free pass to a decent career. Okay. Have you seen Hindi movies जो black and white जमाने की आती थी? नहीं देखते ना आजकल. वो कभी जी टीवी में कभी पुरानी पिक्चर आती है, देख लेना. Most of these black and white either movies of the 1930s, 40s, 50s, the hero or heroine had an uncle or aunt who came from Africa after 20 years. कभी मिला ही नहीं था उसको. ये भी तुम्हारे अंकल आंटी जो तुम्हें मिलेगी. They are uncles and aunts who have not met you for 20 years, who are meeting you for the first time, trying to understand you as an individual, trying to get a hang of what is it that you like, what is it that you are good at, what is it that you dislike, what is it that you are not good at. They are trying to understand you as a human being, as an individual. Is this not a part of that? Yes. So you can, to your uncles and aunts, can you tell them नहीं ये पट्टी पे तो पेपर बेकार है. बोल सकते हो अंकल आंटी को तो इनको भी बोल देना. They will not be in problem. Or even if there is a problem, then they will try to put you under pressure and see how you react to pressure. ये बहुत बोलता है अभी देखते हैं. That can happen, but then you should be ready for that. No, not an ego. Please understand. It's not an ego fight. There's a chance of everything converting into an ego fight. Does not mean, okay, hold on. Tell me, if you don't say that, you are doomed. Because if you don't say that this test is useless, or this test is not relevant, it is completely different, and you completely agree with it, then you are in any case out of the race. It is a choice of word. No, hold on. It's a choice of word which matters, and which is why I said you cannot be as rude as I was. Okay. But I'm saying, can you still convey the same thought process to them in a better set of words? Because if you don't do that, in any case you have lost the battle there. If you do it, there's a chance you will be able to recover it. And to me, anything which helps me improve my chance, I should do. And finally, go back to the purpose of the interview. It is a selection process. They have already given you benefit of doubt by picking you out of those so many people who took the paper. So they are already positively predisposed towards you. And now they will put you under pressure. They will check out your reasoning skills and say, okay, दिमाग काम करता है कि नहीं करता तो ले लो, नहीं करता तो छोड़ दो. Agreeing to it without giving a counter logic is saying मेरा दिमाग काम नहीं करता. अगर दिमाग नहीं काम करता, मंदर भी नहीं करेगा, बाहर भी नहीं करेगा. So from your point of view, you have to at least give reasons why you think it is incorrect. Secondly, some of you can handle humor or carry humor into the interview, some of us cannot. Be very clear, can you do it or not? If you cannot carry humor into the interview, please don't try to make it a serious subject. Let it remain the way it is. If you can, you should definitely take it into the interview. Because it lightens the atmosphere. At the end of the day, a good interaction, a good discussion. After which the panel members feel good, you are likely to get a couple of extra marks and you are likely to make it. And look at the panel members. सुबह से शाम तक 50 इंटरव्यू करने हैं, same thing coming all over again. कि I am an engineer into Wipro, कोई Infosys में होगा, कहीं होगा, but 80% of the people will say this only. So the default MBA experience is a male engineer, IT with 2 years experience. So anyone with a different component in any of the three has always a better chance. Yes, you have a better chance on one of the 3 parameters. Okay. So a male engineer IT, now any variation from the 3, a female, BCom, fashion designer, great. You have a good chance. Why? Because it breaks the monotony. Anything which breaks the monotony is always welcome because they also get bored. So whenever someone comes across and says, no, I don't have much in academy, but I'm great in, let's say, chess, or Bollywood I enjoy very much, and let us discuss Bollywood, they will not mind it. They might, and it is up to you whether you want to offer it or not. So anyone who can offer anything which is different from the stereotype is always welcome. And your task is to highlight those differences so that they become more interested in you, so that there is a better discussion. A better discussion, an interesting discussion leads to higher chances of selection. Okay? So that also means 80% of you have an uphill task. Because male IT engineers of 3% bolte hi. It is the other 20% which have to ensure they are able to utilize those differences on an ethical way. Yeah? Right. No, not as usual. For you it happened. I am sure it is not true for everyone else. Yeah, it's सबका ही हाल है क्या? What's your name? Yeah. Is everyone like Priyanka till 12 great academics, done well in practically everything? After that, इसमें 10th में ही कर दिया था. 10th के बाद ये तुमसे एक कदम आगे हैं. Okay. So I'm sorry. I apologize. I think most of the people are like you. Yeah. How many people have gone through so many activities, by the way? You are looking at the negative of not having the depth. I am looking at the positive of having a variety. Okay. So I don't know why, but by nature I always look at the positive side of the story first. Though if you have an interview with me, I will give you only your negatives. Okay. But by and large, I will say, can you keep focusing on what are the positives? Yes, all of us have large number of negatives, but none of those negatives will help us to get through. What will help us get through in each of those negatives? Can I identify some of the positives and then take it there in the interview? Okay. There was another someone will come. Before? Yeah. You may not be able to, yes. You can definitely, you should not. देखो स्कूल में होता था ना, may I come in the class or can I come in the class? Can तो है ना, पाँव में चल के आ सकते हो. You may not because you are late. ठीक है? So again the question here is not can you or can answer, you should not. You should not give a close-ended answer because every close-ended answer is going to reduce your chances. So to the extent possible, I understand what you're saying. To every question, I can't keep saying, no, I don't know economics, I don't know physics, I don't know economics, I know physics. You can't keep saying that every time. But can you make an attempt? At least make sure register with them, so that at least they will give you the benefit of doubt. उसने पहले ही बोला था मुझे आता नहीं कुछ. Please understand, interview is all a game of expectation setting and living up to that expectation. So one of the key things which you need to remember, you should not set the expectation sky high. कि मुझसे अच्छा इंसान है ही नहीं, I am very good in everything.